Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Old Time Rock and Roll. I'm your host, David Tear, where I've been featuring my personal top 3,000 songs of the rock era from 1954 to 1999. And today I'm up to song number 2709, and that one is a medley. It's a medley of Just a Gigolo and I Ain't Got Nobody by David Lee Roth. This was released in 1985. Went to number 12, I believe, as a single. It was also released on his album called Crazy in the Heart, which was his debut solo album. Um, and First, I think I want to talk about this song, Just a Gigolo, I Ain't Got Nobody. It has a really long history. It was actually two different songs. The first song featured in the medley is Just a Gigolo. The lyrics were written by Julius Brammer in 1924 and the music by Leonello Kazuki in 1928, and was finally adapted into English by Irving Caesar, this guy here, in 1929. So very old song. I guess I don't know if it was used in vaudeville shows or whatever, but it goes way back. And the other song, I Ain't Got Nobody, it was also has a couple other titles. I'm So Sad and Lonely, and I Ain't Got Nobody Much. This one was first recorded by Marion Harris, this woman here, in 1915. You can see she's kind of a flapper girl from the 20s. I believe this picture was taken in 1924. So both of these are very old songs. And finally, they were combined into a medley, which was first recorded by Louis Prima in 1956, this guy here. So he did the first medley of this song. So it's a very old song, and it was a swing record. And A lot of other artists recorded it too, including Bing Crosby, Louis Armstrong, Sarah Vaughan, Connie Francis, The Village People, Marlena Dietrich, and Tiny Tim. So a lot of people recorded this song, and of course, David Lee Roth did in 1985, and he had a hit with it. And you know, good song. I like David Lee Roth's version. This was the first version I ever heard, by the way. I guess I'm too old to have heard the older versions, but I like it. I like it. It's a good song. I might have heard one or two of the other versions at various times in my life, but for whatever reason, maybe because David Lee Roth was the first I ever heard, I do like his version. I also like his version of the video. He had a very provocative video for this song. So you can imagine, I mean, he was a pretty provocative guy. Now I think I'm just going to talk about David Lee Roth. So he was a very, very successful recording artist. And I think you guys know that he started out with Van Halen. First of all, he was born in 1954. He was born in Bloomington, Indiana. I was kind of surprised when I learned this. I wouldn't think he was a Hoosier, but he was from Indiana, of all places. And he got his start with Van Halen in 1972. He was with him, I guess, two times. First from 72 to 85. Then he went solo from 1985 to 2006, and finally he reunited with Van Halen in 2007 and stayed with him again until 2015. So he's had a very long and successful music history, both as a solo artist and as you know lead singer of Van Halen. And I'll just go through his solo hits. I think he was actually more successful with Van Halen, but he did have a few big solo hits. In 1985, his first solo hit was a version of California Girls, which went to number three. That was originally recorded by the Beach Boys. I believe their version also went to number three, even though the Beach Boys version I think is much better and much more well known. And then Later that year, he had the song I'm featuring today, Just a Gigolo, the medley, Just a Gigolo slash I Ain't Got Nobody, which went to number 12. In 1986, he had Yankee Rose, which went to 16. Gone Crazy, which went to 66. And That's Life, which I believe was a cover of a song originally done by Frank Sinatra. David Lee Roth's version went to number 85. Um, And then in 1987, he had Just Like Paradise. I guess that was his only other top 10 solo hit. That went to number 6. And finally, in 1988, he had Stand Up, which went to number 64. So those were his solo hits. Not a lot of solo hits, but a lot of hits with Van Halen. I think he was a really good singer. I guess I always thought he had a huge ego. I didn't really like his personality very much. He liked to show off a lot, and I thought he was kind of obnoxious. But he was a very good musician. I guess a lot of musicians are like that. They're not really that likable as people, but we love their music, and so anyway, I guess David Lee Roth falls into that category. So that completes my profile of Just a Gigolo slash I Ain't Got Nobody by David Lee Roth. Thank you for watching. You guys rock, and I'll see you next time. Bye.